What a weird year 1969 was. Let's just hit some of the good events. See if I can find anything worthwhile. We'll start at the bottom, work our way up. Oh, yeah. Dr. Denton Cooper, first artificial heart implant, 1969, April 4th, 4 4. It was a milestone. I mean, they didn't transplant the heart, they just took it out, put in a combination luggage system with a vacuum cleaner and a pump. The patient lived 65 hours. They called it a milestone. It's an inch pebble toss. Next. Number 9, the Concorde's flight. First one. Yeah, it was a supersonic passage passenger plane. Sweet. Designed by UK and France together. Flew for a little while. Same time, Boeing came out with the 747. Flew better, cheaper, more people. Later on, it was retired because it was just too costly. Could only fly it at certain times. Had to give that price on to the passengers. And it turned out not that many people needed to be in London or New York in 4.5 hours. They could just take their time. It's funny, an SR-71 Blackbird by Lockheed, you know, maxed out at right about Mach 3.3, right around 2,200 miles an hour. It has to fly very fast. It's made out of titanium. So as it gets hotter because of the friction, the titanium spreads out. It will actually leak fuel on the runway before it takes off. It has to be almost refueled immediately. But now we don't use that one anymore either. What a shame. Where am I at? Ah, yes. Number 8. See Charlie. God, what a nut. Charles Manson. While in prison, learned how to play the guitar from Creepy Alvin Karpis. Used to run with Ma Barker's gang. Ma Barker met their demise near Ocala. They have a great tour up there, but you got to book way ahead. They show you the house, which is not actually on the same spot it was because they moved it across the lake, but it's the same house, not the same location. So anyway, Charlie has influence. He's 5 foot nothing, and he's able to tell people like Tex, Randolph, or whatever his name was, Tex, and Squeaky, and all the girls to go in and kill certain people to help with an uprising between races. Somehow, a coffee Aranus figures into this. Boy, it was just a mess. 2 nights, August 8th and 9th. Tate LeBlanc, I think Roman Polanski. Back to the station. Had a flower. That's moving. Oh, sorry, Albert. The invention of the internet, 1969. I know that sounds kind of weird. I did a little bit on this before. The ARPANET, that's Advanced Research Projects, don't tell me, Agency Network, military, from the Pentagon to Stanford. I'm trying to think where else it went. Stanford, oh, UCLA. All these guys were able to communicate using that TCP/IP protocol. Where was Al Gore? Yeah, 1969, he was writing for Stars and Stripes in the U.S. Army. Yeah, because his dad was a senator from Tennessee, writing for. Moving on. Ah, the Beatles did their final concert from a rooftop of the Apple's headquarters in London. Let it be. That's a shame. Just did it. People came out, didn't realize what they were witnessing until it was too late. Last time they were together. Number 5, not as rosy. I stopped from saying homicide. Maybe. See, when your family owns most of a commonwealth, you can call Chappaquiddick an incident and not manslaughter. I say that with a smile. Oh, y'all think that war was cuckoo. You know, someone had to take a test for him, right? When he went into the army, get this, he was assigned to the embassy. Now, settle down, I know. Marines are in charge of embassies. What was he doing there? Please, don't even get me started. I can't. It's just a drunk that goes off a bridge and then he leaves a woman behind who's still probably alive and has the nerve to show up to her funeral wearing a neck brace on backwards. Yeah, I don't care. The Vietnam War, My Lai massacre. That's when we found out about the massacre in 1969 that happened in 1968. It, it sparked a great deal. We had enough problems with Vietnam to begin with. Protest already. And a lot of these people that protested, they weren't anti-American. They didn't want to go. They didn't see a reason to fight for someone else's war, and a lot of them didn't want to fight themselves. About 347 civilians were killed, possibly even up to 504. They convicted a Lieutenant William Calley and sentenced to life. He was, I think, indicted, charged with 22 murders. He served 3.5 years, and Richard Nixon commuted his sentence. Ah, it was a fun year of 69. One of the funner parts, and people finally came apart, the Stonewall Inn riots in New York City. Yeah, NYPD, they went in for a little friendly raid, apparently something they did routinely, raiding a gay place. Well, guess what? Twisted Sister had had enough. They put up a riot. Far out. Everybody else became about it. Yeah, cops are harassing the gays. And this started resistance and talking, an organization. And I think back then we only had a couple of words, LG, lesbian and gay. Now who the hell knows? It doesn't affect me that much. I don't care. I don't know what the plus sign is. Non-binary, someone who doesn't go by anything, which is okay with me as long as you don't hurt kids or old people. I'm cool. But when I start hearing chat about, pedophilia is just a sexual preference, that's when you need to really consider who you vote for. Moving on. Woodstock, number 2, one of the best events. Heard one of the best renditions of the national anthem ever by Jimi Hendrix on a guitar, only to be topped by Whitney Houston later on. Come on, it's a tough song. It was written by a lawyer, F. Scott Key. Have you ever known many lawyers to be good songwriters? Yeah, don't quote me anybody from Broadway, okay? That's just a fluke. God Bless America. That was always good. Easy to sing. Everybody's up for the second verse. Yeah, it's moving on. Number 1, my favorite, should be yours without a doubt. It's funny though, I have developed this, I've seen this. People that believe in the moon hoax also believe aliens landed in Roswell. Nothing crashed in Roswell. Whatever crashed was 72 miles northwest on a farm, on a ranch. And it looked like tinfoil. His words. It was in the newspaper. I got a copy of it from 1947. It folded like newspaper. I'm sorry, went off. 1969, the moon landing, July 20th, 1969. A promise fulfilled by promise by John Kennedy to land a man and return him safely in this decade. And we did it. Now, there was a jackass named Bart. I'm not going to use his last name. He's just a friggin' cab driver from Tennessee. Um, Approached Buzz Aldrin, one of my favorite guys, and the 72-year-old took him out with a hook, hit him right in the face, right in the jaw. The guy was swinging a Bible at him, telling him, "Oh, swear on the Bible that you went there. Get back in your cab, go home." I can't believe he's from Tennessee. Maybe he wasn't born there. Must have been a transplant. But anyway, yeah, Buzz was there. Neil had the line down. He flubbed it up. Not a big deal. And we moved on. But that was the 60s. 69. That was a weird year. I was 10 years old. I still remember that. Walter Cronkite telling people on, on TV how to take a picture of the TV screen as you watch this guy come down the limb. It was unbelievable. We couldn't believe it. Okay. Well, that's all in the past. I'm sorry, I got a little rambunctious, but whenever I use this, I get that way. I'll see you tomorrow. That's history. It's all in the past. Maybe I'll find another fun year without Manson. See you next time. Bye.